Korede dropped the basket of tomatoes. The woman standing beside the pepper store was laughing. Alive, breathing, her head tilted the same way. The small scar above her eyebrow was still there. Anu, his wife, the woman he buried 3 years ago. The noise of Bodija market faded. The traders shouting prices, the keke horns, the smell of dried fish, everything went silent in his ears. She held a little boy by the hand. The child looked up at him. The boy's eyes were his own. Korede's chest tightened. His legs refused to move. He remembered the coffin, the hospital sheets. The night he cried until morning, he remembered lowering her into the ground. Yet, here she was. Anu! He shouted. Her smile disappeared. Her fingers tightened around the child's hand. Yes, she said calmly. Her voice was the same, soft, clear. Korede staggered forward. It's me. Korede, your husband. People began to stare. I don't know you, she replied. The word struck harder than a slap. You died, Korede whispered. I buried you. A shadow crossed her face. Fear or guilt. Before he could speak again, black SUVs pushed into the crowded road. Doors opened. Many dark glasses stepped out. At the center stood Senator Olatunji. Some graves, the senator said, should never be opened. The market exploded into chaos. Korede ran. Dust flew behind him as he pushed past traders and overturned baskets. The senator's men shouted, but he did not stop. His heart pounded like a drum inside his chest. That night, he stood at the cemetery gate. Rain fell hard. Thunder cracked above him. He held the shovel with shaking hands. I buried you here, he muttered. Mud splashed across his clothes. As he dug, faster, deeper, his palms burned. His breath came in sharp pulls. 4 years ago, the coffin was sealed. The hospital said her body was damaged in the accident. They told him not to look. He believed them. He signed the papers. He cried. He watched them lower the box. He never opened it. Korede froze. Rain soaked his face as he cleared the mud. The coffin lay there, silent. Anu, he whispered. He forced it open. The lid creaked. Inside, nothing. No body, no bones, no clothes. Only a folded stone wrapped in white hospital fabric. Korede stumbled back. His mind spun. The grave was never hers. Footsteps crushed wet grass behind him. Flashlight snapped on. You should have stayed quiet, a voice said. Korede turned slowly. The senator's chief guard stepped forward. Rain dripping from his gun. You were never meant to find out. Lightning flashed across the empty coffin. The grave had no secret. It had a plan. Korede grabbed the boy's wrist. The market gasped. The child tried to pull away, but Korede dropped to his knees and stared into his face. Same wide eyes. Same small dent on the left cheek. Same birthmark near the ear. His blood turned cold. What is your name? Korede asked. The boy swallowed. Jomiloju. The name hit him like thunder. That was the name he and Anu chose the night before she died. Korede's hands began to shake. Who is your father? He whispered. The boy pointed across the road. Senator Olatunji stood beside his black SUV. That man, Jomiloju said softly. Korede's vision blurred. No, he muttered. No, that's not possible. Anu rushed forward and pulled the boy behind her. Leave him alone. She snapped. Her voice carried fear now. Korede stood. You named him Jomiloju, he said. You promised that name was ours. She froze. For 1 second, her mask cracked. The boy looked back at Korede again. Confused, curious. The senator began clapping slowly. Blood is stubborn, he said. It always tries to return home. Korede stepped back as the truth formed like fire in his chest. The child did not just look like him. The child was him. And the senator knew it. Korede slammed the hospital file on the metal desk. I want the truth, he shouted. The old nurse in front of him would not look up. Her hands trembled as she pushed the file back. There's nothing there, she said. Korede flipped it open. Blank pages. Every record from the night Anu died was gone. No accident report, no doctor's signature, no body record. He said, how does a person die without proof? The nurse wiped sweat from her face. Please, lower your voice. Korede leaned closer. Who paid you? Her eyes filled with tears. Outside, a black SUV stopped. The nurse saw it through the window and froze. You don't understand, she whispered. We were told it was a private case. By who? Her lips shook. The senator. Korede felt the ground shift beneath him. He came himself. She continued. He said the woman must disappear. He brought documents. He brought money. How much? Korede demanded. The nurse covered her face. Enough to silence everyone. Footsteps echoed in the hallway. Heavy, slow. Korede turned. 2 men in dark suits entered the ward. One locked the door. The other pulled the curtains shut. The nurse began to cry softly. We want you to stop digging, one guard said. Korede clenched his fists. Now he knew. Anu did not die. She was bought. And someone paid to erase her from his life. Korede blocked her path. Look at me, he said. Anu held Jomiloju close as people rushed past them. The market noise felt far away. Her breathing was fast. I don't know you, she repeated. Korede stepped closer. You hate onions in stew. You sing when you wash plates. You cried the day rain destroyed our roof. Her eyes flickered. You are mistaken, she said, but her voice cracked. He lowered his tone. The night before the accident, we argued about moving to Lagos. You said Ibadan was home. Her fingers tightened around the child's shoulder. Stop, she whispered. Jomiloju looked up at her. Mommy, why are you shaking? Korede felt the pain stab his chest. You almost died giving birth. He continued. You held my hand and said if anything happens, I should protect our son. Tears filled her eyes. I have no son with you, she said quickly. The words sounded false. A sharp headache hit her. She grabbed her head. Images flashed across her face like shadows. A small room, a wedding ring, laughter under candlelight. She gasped. Anu, Korede said softly. For a second, she looked at him like she knew him. Then black SUV doors slammed nearby. Her face went blank again. I don't remember you, she said coldly. But fear lived behind her eyes, and someone had taught her to forget. Did you hear? The whisper moved faster than fire. Before noon, every store in Bodija was buzzing. Pepper sellers leaned over baskets. Meat cutters paused mid-swing. Even the Okada riders stopped to listen. They say the dead woman is walking again. They say the child looks like the husband. They say the senator is involved. Korede felt eyes followed him as he walked through the narrow lane. No one spoke to him directly, but everyone watched. An old woman selling dried fish grabbed his shirt. I was at that burial, she said. The coffee was too light. Korede froze. What? She nodded. 4 men carried it like empty wood. I told my sister something was wrong. Another trader joined. The hospital van came at night. No family allowed inside. More voices rose. They rushed to the burial. No autopsy. Too much security. The noise grew thick. Across the market, Anu stood still for a customer pretended to buy pepper just to stare at her face. Is that not Korede's wife? She looks the same. She has the same scar. Jomiloju clung to her wrapper as whispers surrounded them. Then a rumor hit like thunder. They said the senator kept her in a private house. Silence dropped. Everyone turned. Black SUVs rolled slowly into the market again. Engines crawled. Doors opened. Bodija knew everything, and today, it was no longer afraid to talk. Smoke filled the night sky. Korede ran toward the hospital's gates as flames climbed through the windows. Nurses screamed. Patients were rushed outside on stretchers. Sirens wailed. The records room! Korede shouted. A guard tried to stop him, but he pushed past and covered his nose with shirts. He slapped his face as he forced his way down the corridor. Room 12. That was where old files were kept. He kicked the door open. Fire had already eaten half the shelves. Papers floated in the air like burning birds. Cabinet crashed to the ground. No, he yelled. This was not an accident. Someone had come before the fire spread. The metal drawers were broken open. Specific folders were gone. A hand grabbed his arm. It was the same old nurse. They started in this room. They poured fuel on the files from that year. What year? Korede demanded. She looked straight at him. The year your wife died. The ceiling cracked above them. Wood fell. Korede pulled her out just before the roof collapsed. Outside, he watched the building burn. Across the road, black SUVs sat quietly, engines running, windows tinted. The senator's convoy. Korede's fist tightened. The grave was empty. The nurse was paid. Now, the records were ash. Someone was cleaning the past, and they were getting desperate. Enter. The gate closed behind Korede with a heavy clang. He stood inside the senator's private compound. Marble floors, tall pillars, armed guards at every corner. Senator Olatunji sat by the pool, calm, dressed in white. The senator finally faced him. You are stubborn, the senator said without looking up. Korede did not sit. You stole my wife. The senator smiled slowly. Careful with words. You erased her. You burned the hospital. Korede stepped closer. Why? What did she see? The truth was closer than ever. But some truths cost everything. I am the Ready Writer, and every story hides a truth.